The truth about your anxiety, finding peace in the storm. Hello everyone, welcome to the Awakening Code, where we explore together the deepest secrets of life. I'm your companion on this special journey, a journey not just to understand the outer world, but more importantly, to discover the universe within ourselves. There is a reality that perhaps many of us are silently experiencing, despite living in the most convenient era in history, despite having technology that connects the entire world, despite having abundant information. Why do we feel more anxious, lonely, and lost than ever before? Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with an indescribable feeling, as if something isn't right, but you can't pinpoint exactly what it is? Have you ever achieved goals you desired, yet still felt empty inside? Or have you ever sat in a crowd but felt strangely alone? If these feelings sound familiar, then you're not alone at all. And more importantly, this isn't your fault. This is precisely the code that life is sending us, a message about something deeper waiting to be discovered. At the Awakening Code, we believe that every anxiety, every unanswered question, every longing for meaning, all are clues leading to awakening and transformation. We don't just want to convey information, but to help you connect ancient wisdom with modern life, helping you find your true place in this grand design. Today, in the first episode of our series Peace in the Storm, we'll explore together the truth about anxiety, not to fix it, but to understand the message it carries, and from there find the path to true peace. Let's begin with a story that many people will likely find familiar. There's a story that perhaps many of us feel familiar with. It's about people who seem to have achieved everything in life: successful careers, happy families, financial stability. From the outside, they're the epitome of success. But in private moments, during late nights or early mornings, there's a feeling that something still isn't right, an emptiness, an inexplicable worrying. Sometimes it feels like an invisible weight pressing on the chest, making us wonder, why do I feel so anxious? Does this story sound familiar? Perhaps we've experienced or are experiencing something similar. And what's noteworthy is that when sharing these feelings, most people nod in understanding and say, I feel the same way. This is what we might call the anxiety phenomenon of our time. It doesn't just affect a few people, but has become a shared experience. From college students to business people, from office workers to artists, it seems everyone carries within them an inexplicable anxiety. But before delving into finding solutions, we need to understand clearly, what is anxiety really, and why has it become a characteristic of our time? What is anxiety? Anxiety isn't simply worrying or fear about something specific. It's a deeper state, a feeling that something is wrong, a fundamental unease about the nature of life we're living. If fear is a reaction to a specific danger, then anxiety is a vague feeling that life is missing something important, that we're living not in accordance with our true nature. There's a profound ancient saying, the eye is never satisfied with seeing, nor the ear with hearing. This perfectly describes the state of anxiety, a feeling of never being enough, never being satisfied, no matter how much we have. The origins of anxiety. But why is this so? Why do we, beings capable of creating art, science, philosophy, carry such deep anxiety within us? The answer lies in our special nature. We're not just biological organisms. We also have a spiritual depth, a longing for meaning and purpose in life. And this is precisely the source of all anxiety. Imagine we're opera singers with great talent, but forced to sing rock music our entire lives. No matter how hard we try, no matter how skilled we become as rockers, there will always be a deep feeling that this isn't the path meant for us. This is exactly what the deepest part of us experiences when living not in accordance with our true nature. 3 layers of anxiety. Let's explore anxiety through 3 different layers. First layer, anxiety about self-image. These are worries about status, image, success in others' eyes. Am I good enough? What will people think of me? Am I falling behind someone? This is the shallowest layer, and also the most easily recognizable. Second layer, anxiety of separation. Going deeper, this is the feeling of loneliness, separation from others and from life. The feeling like we're living in an invisible bubble, observing life from the outside instead of truly living in it. This is why, despite having social media connecting the entire world, we feel lonelier than ever. Third layer, anxiety about life's meaning. This is the deepest layer and often unrecognized. It's a deep longing to rediscover life's true meaning, to live according to noble values instead of just material goals. It's the call from our deepest self. And this is what most of us don't realize. The anxiety we feel in daily life is actually messages from our deepest selves. They're not enemies to fight, but friends trying to guide us back to ourselves. The truth about conventional anxiety treatment's temporary methods before talking about real solutions. We need to honestly acknowledge the ways modern society is treating anxiety and why they're ineffective. First approach, chasing material success. If I have more money, a bigger house, a nicer car, I'll be at peace. But how many wealthy people do we know who are truly happy? How many celebrities have ended up with depression, addiction, or even suicide? There is a profound ancient saying, nothing is more futile than accumulating wealth while forgetting life's meaning. Material things can bring temporary comfort, but they can't touch the deep layer of anxiety within us. Second approach, seeking external validation. If everyone loves and praises me, I'll feel valuable. But this creates a terrible vicious cycle. We become slaves to others' opinions, living not our own lives, but what others expect. Third approach, escaping into addictive behaviors from alcohol and drugs to seemingly harmless things like social media, games, shopping, overeating. All share one characteristic. They help us forget anxiety temporarily. But when the effect wears off, we feel emptier than before. Fourth approach, staying constantly busy. If I always have things to do, I won't have time to feel anxious. But this is just hiding the problem, not solving it. And when we stop, anxiety returns stronger. Why don't these methods work? All the above approaches share one thing. They try to solve the problem from outside in, instead of inside out. They treat anxiety as a problem to be fixed rather than a message to be listened to. Imagine we're driving and the fuel warning light comes on. We could put tape over the warning light so we don't see it, but would that solve the fuel shortage problem? Anxiety is the same. It's a signal from within, telling us we're living without something important. The trap of positive thinking. Even seemingly spiritual methods can become traps. That's the positive thinking trend, trying to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. At first glance, this seems reasonable, but in reality, it creates an internal war. We try to suppress negative emotions as if they're enemies. But these emotions, including anxiety, are actually messengers trying to convey important information to us. There's a very profound saying, what we resist persists, what we accept transforms. The path to true peace, the difference between peace and comfort. Before diving into solutions, we need to distinguish between two often confused concepts, peace and comfort. Comfort is the state when everything goes as we want, when there's no pressure, no challenges. But comfort depends on external circumstances and can disappear at any time. Peace is different. Peace is an inner state not shaken by external events. We can feel peace even in a storm, and can feel anxious even when everything is favorable. There is a very profound saying, the wisest person knows how to rise from worldly beauty to higher values. This is the key, not completely abandoning the material world, but learning to see deep meaning in everyday life. 3 steps to transform anxiety into peace. Step 1. Welcome and listen. The first and most important thing, don't fight anxiety. Instead, welcome it like an old friend visiting. Imagine anxiety as a small child crying. If we scold or ignore it, it will cry louder. But if we embrace it and ask, what's wrong? The child will gradually calm down and tell us, practice right now. When feeling anxious, stop and take 3 deep breaths. Put your hand on your heart and say, I see you there, anxiety. What are you trying to tell me? Don't try to fix or eliminate this feeling. Just simply observe and listen. Step 2. Understand the message. Every anxiety carries a message. Our job is to learn to decode these messages. Some common messages. We're living not according to our true values. We're focusing too much on externals while neglecting internals. We need deeper connection with life's meaning. We're afraid of change, but change is necessary. Questions for self-inquiry. What does this anxiety want me to pay attention to? Am I living according to others' expectations instead of my inner calling? What am I missing in my spiritual life? Step 3. Return to center. This is the most important step. Learning to return to our own center, where peace always exists. Practical methods. Method 1. Silent meditation. Not complex meditation with many techniques, but simple meditation. Just sitting quietly and listening to the silence within. Instructions. Find a quiet place. Sit with straight back, close eyes, and focus on breathing. When thoughts arise, don't chase them away. Just observe and return to breathing. Start with 5 to 10 minutes daily. There's a beautiful saying, the art of silence is finding peace in quietness. Method 2. Heart connection. This isn't reading prepared words, but truly talking with the source of the universe from deep in the heart. How to practice. Put hand on heart. Speak honestly about what you're feeling, worrying, gratitude, longing. No need for flowery language, just sincerity. End by giving thanks for all you have. Method 3. Living in the present. Most anxiety comes from living in the past. Regret, resentment, or future worrying, fear. Peace can only be found in the present. Simple practice. When feeling anxious, focus on the 5 senses. See 5 things you can see around you. Hear 4 sounds you can hear. Feel 3 sensations on your skin: wind, clothing, temperature, smell. 2 scents you can detect: taste. 1 flavor in your mouth. This will bring you back to the present, where peace always exists. Method 4. Service from the heart. One of the most powerful ways to transform anxiety is to forget ourselves and serve others. When we focus on bringing good to life, we naturally connect with deeper meaning in life. Simple ways. Truly listen when someone shares with you. Do small acts of kindness without expecting anything in return. Share knowledge and experience to help others grow. Send good wishes to those around you. Deep insights from ancient wisdom about letting go. Ancient spiritual masters have taught us a profound lesson about the nature of anxiety. According to them, anxiety comes from living according to personal will instead of the natural flow of life. In other words, living according to ego desires instead of inner calling. Ancient wisdom emphasizes true freedom is letting go the burden of personal will to find harmony with the universe. This doesn't mean we become passive, but rather learn to live from a higher source of power, the source of love and wisdom. When living according to personal will, we always have to bear everything alone. We feel pressure to control every situation, to ensure everything goes as we wish. This is precisely the source of all tension and anxiety. But when we learn to let go and trust in a greater wisdom, call it the universe, the source, the flow of life, or whatever name feels appropriate, we suddenly feel lighter. We no longer have to bear everything alone. Vision of the Great Transition. A number of thinkers have brought a broader perspective on the nature of anxiety in our current era. According to them, we're living in a time of great transition, from an old era to a new one. In this transition period, old structures are collapsing, old values are being challenged, and we feel lost. This is precisely why anxiety has become a global phenomenon in our time. But this isn't a crisis, but a great opportunity. The anxiety we feel is actually the birth pangs of a new consciousness, a consciousness based on love, unity, and awareness of the interconnectedness of all life. According to this view, those feeling strong anxiety in this era might be the pioneers of new consciousness. They can't be satisfied with old values because their deepest selves are longing for something higher, deeper. Synthesizing both perspectives, when combining these two perspectives, we have a comprehensive picture of anxiety's nature. At the individual level, Anxiety is the inner calling, inviting us to live according to our true nature. At the collective level, anxiety is a sign of global consciousness shift from a world based on division and competition to one based on unity and cooperation. This means when we heal our own anxiety, we're not just helping ourselves, but also contributing to healing the surrounding community. After everything we've explored together, let's remember these key points. First, anxiety isn't our enemy. It's a friend trying to guide us home, back to ourselves, back to our true nature. Second, true peace doesn't come from having everything we want, but from realizing that everything we need for happiness already exists within us. Third, we're not alone in this journey. The anxiety we're experiencing is shared by millions of others. We're all evolving together toward higher consciousness. Fourth, whenever we feel lost, remember that the path home always begins with a simple step. Stop, breathe deeply, and return to our heart. Let's practice something simple together in the coming week. 7-day challenge. Each day, spend 10 minutes sitting quietly in silence. Don't listen to music, don't read books, don't do anything. Just simply sit and listen to the silence within. If anxiety arises, welcome it and ask, "What do you want to tell me?" Write down what you discover in these moments of silence. You might be surprised by the messages your deepest self is trying to convey. And remember, we don't have to walk alone on this path. Share your discoveries in the comments below. Each person's story could be the guiding light for someone else. If this video has touched something in your heart, share it with loved ones. Sometimes, just knowing we're not alone in these feelings is already great healing. In upcoming episodes of the Peace in the Storm series, we'll continue exploring other aspects of the inner journey. We'll talk about the power of humility, the art of silence, and how to transform life's challenges into spiritual gifts. But most importantly, we'll build together a community of people seeking deeper meaning in life, a community of awakening souls. Before ending, I want to send everyone a blessing. May you find peace even in the storm. May you realize you are unconditionally loved. May you have courage to listen to your inner calling. And may you always remember that nothing happens by chance. You rehearing these words at exactly the moment you need to hear them. Thank you for joining me in this first episode. The journey of discovering new awakening codes has just begun, and I look forward to continuing to share profound discoveries about life, love, and meaning of existence. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to not miss upcoming episodes. And remember, each of you isn't just a viewer, but a precious member of our community of awakening souls. See you in the next episode, where we'll explore the amazing power of humility. Until then, live with love, live with consciousness, and always trust in your own journey. Goodbye, and may you have days filled with peace.